Welcome. Today we are going to see how to show data for your evaluation using Microsoft Excel and two very simple formulas. You will then be able to take the information that you have learned and find different ways to creatively show how your students grow. First, let's look at the following list of grades. On the left are the grades for students on an initial and final test. For this worksheet, I'm using a 4-3-2-1 scale, but any grading scale will work, including letter grades, which I will explain later. The only two formulas that we are going to use today are the COUNTIF and SUM. If you want to gather information on how many students had 4s on their test, the COUNTIF statement is the best choice. First, decide where you want the information to be. I have already set up some boxes for the information, but you can set it up any way that you would like. Click in that box to begin typing. All formulas in Excel start with the equals sign, so we input the equals and then type COUNTIF and then open parentheses. Select the grades that you want to count from. In this case, we are looking at the initial test, so we would select these cells. We then continue typing with a comma, open quotation marks, the number 4, close quotation marks, and then close parentheses. Hit enter to finish the formula and show the results in the cell. You can now select that cell, copy the formula in the status bar using Control-C, and paste it into the cell below using Control-V. You then need to change the result you are looking for, so click in the cell and change the 4 to a 3. Do the same thing for the next two cells below and you are all done with this part. What is great about the COUNTIF is that you can also make it a letter or a word if you want. This command just counts how many of an item there is in the selected range. Also, if you need to change anything, it will now automatically adjust all of the affected numbers. The next step is to select the 4 cells that we just did and copy them all. Then just click where the final grade 4s are and select Paste. This will automatically update the final grade so that it shows those numbers. Now that we have how many grades of each level there are, we are ready to show the growth. This is where the SUM formula comes in. Basically, the SUM formula just allows us to use simple math structures to calculate a result. We start by clicking in the square provided and start typing the formula. Equal sign, sum, open parentheses. We then click on the final cell, type a minus sign, or a dash if you know it by that, and then click the initial cell and hit enter. We now have how many more or less of a grade there was on a test. Now just copy and paste that formula into the cells below. If you want to show more than just the number of increase and decrease, you can also use the sum formula to show percentages. We set up our formula in this box here, starting with the equal sign SUM and open parentheses. We then click on the initial grade that we selected earlier, type a backslash, select the cell that shows the total number of students and hit enter. This will give us the percentage of students who got that grade. We then copy and paste the formula into the areas like we did with the cells above. Make sure to adjust the first of the two cell numbers or the formulas won't turn out right. Then, just as before, copy all the cells and paste them into the final cells. To show the change of data, just copy the sum formula from up above and paste it into the space below. There is no need to change the formula as it will automatically adjust to the cells you need. The last thing that you need to do is select the cells that you want as percentages, right-click, and then go to Format Cells. Under the Number tab, select Percentages and then change the number of decimal places to 0. Click OK and the numbers should now be percentages. Use this simple technique to track and record many different types of data and do some experimenting on your own as to how you can show more areas of growth.